Okay, let us start. So, hello everyone. Thank you all for joining the webinar today. Today we have Mr. Faraz Khatri, who's a director of sales at Frappe. Faraz has worked with Frappe for the last 5 years, amongst which he comes with around 4 years of experience in consulting of ERPNext, and currently heads the global sales team at Frappe. Before joining Frappe, he worked in a startup as a cloud consultant with a Google partner in Mumbai. His role was to deploy Google Apps, assistant sales team to win the deal, do pre-sales demo, migrate from the legacy systems, and go live. So, so we welcome him and appreciate his efforts in putting together for us the webinar. So over to you, Faraz. Maybe you can speak a bit about yourself before we start, and then we can dive into the topic of discussion.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, Ankita, for a brief introduction. Hello and good afternoon, everyone, wherever you are in the world. Good morning, good afternoon. I am Faraz Khatri, been part of Frappe from last 5 years, currently leading the revenue team, sales team. I've been doing a lot of demos, helping customers previously, pre-sales, used to I love and, do very curated demos. So today we'll cover ERPNext. It will be a latest version 15. We'll try to cover as many use cases as you would like to see. But yeah, I mean, to just start with, what we'll do is I'll quickly, shortly launch a poll so that I would like to understand we have roughly 13 participants join. So we like to see what modules or what industry you guys are from. That will help me to navigate the demo properly. So I'm just launching the poll in next few seconds. You will be able to see that. Let me know once you are able to see the poll. Yeah, it's live now. You will be able to see that. So I'll just pause for a few seconds. It will be helpful if you just, answer this question like which industry do you belong to? Which modules are you interested in ERP next? So there are just few polls, and third one is, are you evaluating or you've already, looking for some partnership? Cool. I can see the answers coming in. Yeah, one more minute before we end the poll. I guess we at the moment we've just got half of you answering the poll. So I would request if anyone can go and answer the poll so that I can curate the demo for you. All right, last few seconds, 30 seconds to go, and then we'll just end the poll for the result. All right, perfect. Thank you so much for your participation here. I'll just end the poll quickly. Oh, I can see um, distribution, I can see services, manufacturing. Oh, nobody's from retail, so we just skip that. And modules, bunch of you want to see highest is okay, inventory stock. I definitely cover that. Someone is saying project management as well. And it sounds interesting. I mean, you guys are evaluating ERPNext for your own businesses, and I think we have some one who also wants to join us as partners. Cool. I'll make sure I'll cover everything for you guys. I'll quickly share my screen. I'll start with a quick round of introduction for Frappe, and then we'll jump into the demo. So let me know once you guys are able to see the screen.
Yes, your screen is visible for us.
All right, perfect. So to quickly introduce Frappe, it started in 2008. Rishabh Mehta, our founder and CEO, has started this organization in 2008. So since then, Frappe is committed to build world-class open source products. So I know you're here for ERPNext, but we have a lot of other products available. And it is not just our team building products. So we have a very big community. We have close to 20,000 plus community members, active developers globally. We have a lot of customers that we worked with. Of course, we have 10,000 global customers, and just ERPNext was almost 15,000 plus GitHub stars. We have 180 partners currently globally, and then, so as I said, it is not just Frappe is not only about the ERPNext, but we have a lot of other products, like, the framework, the heart of the, app where the entire, these apps that you see on the screen, Frappe HR, Helpdesk, these are all built on Frappe framework. ERPNext is also built on Frappe framework, and our infrastructure, Frappe Cloud, the mechanism to deploy multiple Frappe applications also built on Frappe framework. So this is where it is. I won't share some more information, but let's quickly dive into what is ERPNext. So, ERPNext is a 100% open source solution. It has all the modules that you would like to have integrated with your business. Starting from your finance, accounting, we have, most of you would like to see stock. So we have a very comprehensive stock module that can cover almost everything. It's integrated with your procurement, sales, and even CRM. Of course, we have for services, we have project management, and for manufacturing companies, we have manufacturing as well. So we'll try to cover these specifics. And just to share some more information, how powerful ERPNext is. So by default, it comes with APIs. REST APIs are openly available. It is because of a framework, and you can use ERPNext, on any type of a device. It's not necessary. It has to be on your laptop. You can use a mobile, any mobile browser, and you can use it for now. It is made of responsive UI. And to manage ERPNext, we have multiple, you're looking for roles and permissions. So you can have granular level permissions for each and every form that you like to share or not share. Approval mechanism, it comes with multi-currency out of the box, multi-companies, and you can on the fly, customize reports. Not only just features, I would say it's completely agile. You can have your current needs being able to implement, and it's already highly scalable in case your requirements for your future processes would change, so you can easily configure and customize those options. So we have a lot of integrations available, and it's highly scalable, of course, because of the low code framework. We have built a new UI. You would be able to see ERPNext on the new UI version 15. So it's very easy to use, I would say. You don't have to remember any code or any type of strong language. It's a normal user language, and you would be able to navigate around the system. All right, so just to add some more information, we do not have per user license. Your finance team would be really happy that you don't have to. I mean, there is an ERP in the world that no longer would ask you for per user. So your current lease plus your growth, you can have unlimited users. This is a quick comparison how we compete in the market. So, and just to conclude, these are the customers across all the industries. So we have manufacturing, we have services, we have someone from fintech as well. And few of the complex customer that I have worked closely was Vikram T based out of Maharashtra, where it was very first type of customer where we configure something called blending that is part of a manufacturing. So basically it can handle any type of configuration that you would like to set up in your organization. Now we'll jump into the demo quickly. I'll just close this. And before the demo, let me share you some basic context. So we'll be doing a demo for a company like Vijay Sales. It is an electronic store, a kind of a distributor, where it gets all the products from the OEM, and it's a store you can go walk in and buy. Even B2B can buy. So what we'll cover in the demo is We'll cover sales and purchase. That is your inventory part, your distribution part would be covered here. So there are some kind of problems I want you guys to visualize. For example, if you walk into a store and you ask a salesperson there, hey, I need example MacBook Pro 15-inch. I need 5 of them. Example, is it there in this store? So what it does, maybe he would go and check his data on the laptop via Excel or their software. So it is sometime they need to call to the main store and see whether the stock is available or not. And internally, how they track the multiple purchases. So they have multiple vendors or OEMs that they have to deal with. And then as a company, how do I track my profitability? I mean, which brand is doing well? For example, if Apple is doing well or not, or if Samsung is doing well or not, right? And then we also, as an organization, can have multiple internal requests, marketing requests. We need to buy some T-shirts, for our sales team, example. And then how do you automate certain stuff? There are so many vendors that you deal in and out daily, right? So we have a vendor portal. How do you make their life easy as well? So this is what we'll cover in the distribution cycle, sales and purchase. And then in the next phase, we'll try to cover a glimpse of manufacturing. So this is how do you plan your raw materials? What is your current state of manufacturing? How manufacturing is integrated to your other modules. So this is what we'll cover. So I'll jump into the demo. I hope my screen is visible now. Is there any questions? Should I go for it?
Yeah, Faraz, you can go ahead. There's no question in the chat box.
Perfect, perfect. So to start with, as I said, ERPNext is an mobile. I mean, it can be accessible via mobile, and it is an app-based system. It's a web-based system where you can just need to remember your URL, your login URL. It's a unique URL that you have. For example, for me, it is a demo account, test account. So I've used my URL, I've logged in, and the first thing that you will see on your screen is how do you log in. So you remember your credentials, you log in via your email or via SSO. We can set up that. And if notice, you can customize your company logo, your branding, even initially on the login page. So let me log in using my credentials. And once I click on login, you would be able to see on the left is list of all the modules available out of the box. By the way, this is version 15. You can also see your branding, as I said, on the login page. And whenever you are logging in, you'll be able to see that. So your team members would feel like, yes, this is your company portal that you are trying to do transactions with. So at the left, you see list of all the modules available. As I said, accounting is intact. We'll also cover India compliance here. It's part of accounting for India. We have the purchase module like buying, we have selling, inventory, stock assets, all the modules are available. And in case you're figuring out how do you search anything, if you don't remember, I want to punch in an order or sales order or your most frequently used transaction, I want to use that. So this is a very helpful workspace. So if you see that I'm clicking on home, and this is where this is a customizable workspace that I'm able to see. So using this workspace, most frequently visited transactions or reports, I would be able to quickly see and open this. For an example, you're able to see that this is a shortcut to my master, my inventory master, my item master. I want to see my customer list. These are some masters that I'm using as a store manager or something. And I want to quickly also see my as a salesperson my quick reports whether this stock is available or not, whether I commit for the order. So we call it as workspace. You can highly configure or customize the workspace the way you want. So if you see this edit button, you just click here on the edit and you would be able to add forms. You can able to add your reports, and this is how the UI is. You can click on this plus sign and you would be able to add a lot of these stuff. So let's say I want to add another report here. So I can just click on the chart, right? And the system would give me list of all the chart which is available out of the box. So example, just I can add, sales order trends. I can put it as sales order. and just click on add, right? So as you see, within few clicks, I was able to add a quick report which is already there in the system, and just click on save. So this is how you can navigate into the system very easily. And the best part, we can also use this awesome bar. So it's a search bar. We can search any report, any master, or you want to get into any transaction. It is that simple. So let me again search for sales order. System would prompt me these many suggestions, the list, the report, or I want to punch in a new order. Very simple. So we'll start with the journey of sales, let's say, and you want to punch in a new order. And this is one way, as I shared, and I've already created a shortcut here to punch in a order. All right. So let's take a scenario. I am a fan of new products. For example, PS5 have launched the slim version, and I want to set up a small gaming center. Or my company is not having a gaming zone. I want to buy three or four latest version of PS5 so that my colleagues can in their break they can go and just play or experience the new games in my company. So I just walk into the store and I ask that sales team member, let's say Ankita, that, can you help me with the five PlayStation? So what he can do is, as a salesperson of Vijay Sales, I can directly jump into this report. I can just select the store where, for example, I'm just selecting the stores. I can search for that product. For, let's say you are asking for a PlayStation, right? So for shortcut, PS5, you can see this multiple options coming up. So I'll use PS5, Sony PS5 Slim, right? You can see that I can, if I've configured well in my product master, will cover that as well. You would be able to see this. Now, as you see, the available quantity is 0. So let's update the date. It's today that you like to see the latest stock, and it's dynamic, it automatically updates everything. So there you go. You are able to see that available quantity at the bottom is 3. And for example, Ankita is asking for 5. So what I need to do, I can directly punch in order. I won't be able to deliver her right away. But as you said, immediately I was able to check what are the stocks available and whether I can deliver it at the same moment or not, right? So this is a quick view. This was a quick stock balance that I would be able to see. The problem number one, that easier to see what stocks are available as a salesperson. Now let's jump in. I'm not, as I said, I'm not able to fulfill the order. So let's place an order. Let us just book an order in the system. So book an order in the system, we can use a standard process we call a sales order. I can punch in the order. So I can just click on that sales order button. Now it would ask me to enter the name of the individual or a customer. So I can just add the details like Frappe delivery date. Maybe they are okay that they should get next week. And I would be able to just search for that product. I can even scan. If I have barcodes, I can scan, but let me just search for Sony PS, right? So here you go, the system suggests all the options available, and here we have PS5 Slim available, right? And then Ankita is asking for 5 quantity. So as you say, I am not updating the rate. Automatically, the system would fetch me the rate from my price list. You can maintain your multiple price list pricing. You have different pricing, right? For example, in your case, it could be a distributor, it could be a master distributor. You can have multiple price list, and as the ERPNext supports multiple currency, that is also possible. So now if you've noticed, I was able to add the PS5, right? The pricing details were fetched. Uh, Address details were fetched for this particular customer, right? All the details with the GST and all the billing details. That is the my billing details, my company billing details were there fetched. So ERPNext is made such a way there's a new UI where you see everything in tabs. You see the first tab that will shows you the details. Second is your address and contact information. You can have terms and all conditions, all the stuff. So easily I was able to fetch the details and see whether I would be able to punch in the order, right? I can also introduce a new feature where I can reserve the stock if it's a very high demand product, right? That you can also use this feature that you can reserve the stock for this particular, because I have so many inquiries for similar product and it's a hot sell initially, you can do that. So this is just an example. So by just enabling the reserve stock option in version 15, we have added this. You would be able to reserve stock as soon as you submit. You can also automate this for certain products that, automatically after submitting, every order would be reserved, and this will guarantee you that you can deliver them, guaranteed delivery. This is the reservation that you could choose. You can select the warehouse that you would like to deliver. I'm just adding stores for now. So I'm just saving this and let me submit this. Before submitting, I'll just keep on hold. You can go ahead and review this. This is a draft mode. You can still edit this document in case there is some issue here and there. You could be able to change that. And if you finally click on submit, this is a final submittable document, right? So as you see the status now, it is to deliver and bill. You have punched in the order and you have notified the customer. That will take few days. Based on that, you would get the delivery of your order. Now you would be also, as a person, you would be also requesting the team to purchase or have the inventory so that you can deliver it. So from within the system, you would be able to go ahead and create a purchase order. But before going ahead and jumping into purchase, I would like to just touch base on the basic stuff. That is how easily you could go ahead and print any document. So here, if you see the print option, if you just click on print, you would be able to print a document. I've just used a standard print format. All the address and basic details will be fetched. This is, by default, you would be able to print any document. Most probably your purchase order you would like to print. You want to print your invoices, you would be able to print that as well. So, and before going ahead and jumping into purchase order, I would also like to cover the basic of master badges. So I was able to select PS5, but let me share you some glimpse of how the product master would look like. So let me jump into that product master. I'll just click here. It redirects me to an item list. In ERPNext, we call the entire product master as item. So this is a list of items I can see. I can also click here and see all the products that is available. I would use a image view to, there are multiple views that you can see, your products. You can add a new product via manual way. As you see, the plus sign is there, I add an item, or you can always use a import tool. Now, if you've considered there are so many products that you would like to import, so you can use an import tool. Import tool would help you to fetch data from and add new records in the system via Google Sheet as well. If you have a Google Sheet, dump the data there, you will be able to map it and you will be able to do it. Or you can simply attach a Excel or a CSV. You can even download a template, so make sure that, as I said, CSV and Excel is supported. You can download a template, so you'll be able to understand how the data filling or the mapping should be done, and you will be able to bulk import the data. Now this data is available. Let me show you how you can also visualize your data, that how many products are available. So these are some of the products that is available. As I said, we are doing a demo for an electronic store. So these are set of products that they sell. For example, we are working closely for PS5, or delivering order to Ankita. Otherwise, she won't be happy if she doesn't get the order on time. So this is how the master will look like. I can go into some more specific of the master. If I click here, you would be able to, so it's, it has data compliance integrated, HSN code is integrated, your, and this product will come with an serialized or some unique number that you would like to see. So all the information, like, your warranty period in days, and whether, as I said, you can have a batch or you can have a serial number, right? So for default, I have identified that I would add serial number this way. But if you get predefined serial numbers from the OEMs, we can directly add that as well. And also some automation I would like to add. We faced this issue that the orders were not there. I mean, the stock was not there. So the waiting time is more now. How to, navigate, or how to to fix that problem, we also have a feature called auto reorder level. So if you add that, for a particular warehouse or a store, this minimum level should be maintained, and automatically a purchase request the system would be able to create it for you. So you can just add that, for request for, let's say, I'm just giving an example, like for an Andheri Infinity store, the minimum, because it's most sellable product there, minimum order re-level should be 100, and I want to reorder quantity of 100. So what it does, automatically the system would create a request type which is purchase. If you guys are manufacturing, you can use manufacturing. So a intent would be automatically created in the system, and you don't have to manually then go ahead and punch in the orders, for an example. So this was some glimpse of the master. It's highly configurable. I'll just save this, right? And then let's go back to our order where we punched in. So to go back to the order, as I said, I can just go and search for this, and system would suggest. So we have punched in the order for PS5, and the red dot clearly indicates that I don't have the enough stock available. So what we can do is, within this order, remember, we can just go ahead and create a purchase request, request for purchase, or directly punch in an order to the OEM so that you need more supply of this product. So let's create a purchase order. Now from selling, I'm linking the purchase side of things. So let me quickly jump into the order. Let me click on the purchase order. And as you see this, based on my last transaction, system automatically have pulled in the default supplier, that is Sony, and it makes me much easier to create a purchase order. So via the primary action button, I can just click on create purchase order, right? Rest details will be fetched automatically. Now the pricing rate is getting fetched from my standard buying price list, right? And as you've noticed, the taxes are also can get fetched from here. Now, let me just save it. I can also have approvals, but for interest of time, not using approval, I'll just click on save so that the purchase order to purchase that particular product is taken as accepted. It is now. It is the status you see is to receive and bill. Correct. So I'll just take a pause from now. I'll just see if there are any questions. You can interrupt, unmute, and just let me know if there are any questions.
Yes, Faraz, I think there is one question in the chat box also. Before a sales order, if a quotation needs to be sent, is it available in the current system?
Yeah, sure. So before getting into a sales order, we do have a standard feature called quotation. So it is part of a selling module only. If I click on selling, as you see over here, you would be able to see these masters, right? Customer master. So quotation is available. You can click on the quotation. Let me quickly create a quotation. So let's say customer, this one, quotation for let's take some product. Let me take this one, right? And they need for in quantities, right? So quotation can be created very quickly from the system within few clicks. Let me click on save and submit. There you go. Here is your quotation. You print this, right? You get the image. You can, the best feature here is also you can, within this particular thing, you can even add a comment, right? You can communicate, or you can even communicate internally. For example, I want to just notify that the quotation is created. I can tag in my colleague, for example, uh, Part. So he's there. He'll get a notification and comment. You'll see the entire communication, and you want to send this quotation to a customer. Click on this new email. Email ID would be fetched automatically, and you would be able to even send an email within the system on the fly. And you want to go ahead and go to the next steps. So from the quotation, you can create a sales order as well. As you see over here, you can use this create button and convert this quotation to a order, or if some revisions needs to be done, or it's lost or something, you can always use this. Or some revision, let's say, you negotiated a better rate, you can always do that. I can always cancel this document. It says confirm cancellation. Yes, I want to cancel. It's cancelled. Now I get an option to amend. So versioning, different versions is also possible. And let me then now amend it. So now the rate is 29. Example, I want to pass some discounts, that is also possible. Let me click on save and again submit. So now if you've noticed, it was 004, now you get -1. There's a version, it's a revised version of this particular quotation. I hope this helps.
Also, Faraz, there's a couple of questions in the chat box. So there's another question by Ashwati, how to view in purchased records in ERPNext. So basically, I think the purchase orders, I think she's trying to say.
Right. So I'll come up to that. For an example, what we did is till now we've progressed. We were able to punch in the order for Sony, right? But as I said, we also created a purchase order, if you remember. So now you want to identify whether for this particular order, is there any purchase order? So you can just navigate to these connections will be able to help you to see, are there any related documents to this particular order? So you can see here in the purchase one, I also have a purchase order, right? So I can click here and I would be able to see a purchase order for Sony that is yet to be received and billed, and I can just remove the filter. So this is the answer where you would be able to see all the list of purchase orders as a list view. You can see in my buying, I'm in the purchase order. This is my list view and the status of each purchase order. For example, it is to receive and bill. This one I have received, but I'm yet to be billed. Apple, I've completed everything. I've received, I've billed. So this is a quick glimpse.
Maybe
And
Faraz, you can show the report also.
yeah, in case someone want to see much more details, we have, this was a list view. You can go to the report view as Ankita suggested. So this is my report view. I would be able to see this as a report. And the best part is you can also within few clicks add much more details or columns in the report. So I can just use this menu. I can either click on show totals, it will show the total value, or I can just pick columns. You see it over here. You can always print. You can export as Excel, no problem. And you can, for automation, you can also set up an auto email, right? Like end of the day, you want to have certain reports to be automatically visible on the email, on your inbox, you can see that. So let me pick a column. Let's say I want to also see what was the advance paid for an example, right? I can just select this or some more details. I want to even see company GST number or the billing address, something like that. That's it. By the way, these fields are coming from your purchase order. These are standard fields which is there, and I can just click on submit. So within few clicks, I was able to add some more relevant fields which is just relevant to me, or for that particular report. I can save it, I can use it for other purposes. This is how the reporting would work. And now if you wonder at the left, we also have some standard reports in the system. This is a list view of purchase order. You can has itemized purchase history. You want to have your purchase order analysis or trends, you can also see that. So if I click on order analysis, I would be able to have analysis based on my purchase order. I can punch in the purchase order, let's say, for Samsung, let's say, and much more details are there. So you'll be able to quickly get a glimpse view that, amount to be billed is 43%, that, accounting team needs to do some, faster job to clear the billing or something like that. All right, so let's execute this order now. In this one, we are yet to deliver to Ankita, right? So we would go ahead and first we get the once we get the shipment from Sony in the system, we go through the normal process. We'll go and do a GRN, goes receipt no. On in ERPNext, we call it simply as purchase receipt, right? I can also skip this step and go directly to the invoice and update stock. But I want to, I want to show how the purchase receipt is quickly added. So using the create, or in case, before that there is some problem, it went on hold, or forcefully close this particular PO, we can use these options as well. And the update item, in case you want to increase the quantity, there is some missing, you can always do on the fly as well. Now let me create a purchase receipt. I clicked on purchase receipt. I would be able to see the accepted quantity. In case you do a QA and you feel that these are not working, you can have rejection as well. But I just go ahead, and you can always, we have one-to-one, one-to-many options as well. You want to create one purchase receipt from multiple POs, very common in this use case, that Sony would deliver so many other products with that particular shipment. You can do that as well. Create a single purchase receipt and club multiple purchase orders as well. That's possible. And for now, I'll just go ahead and execute this receipt. Let me click on save and submit. So now as I submit this, the status got automatically changed to bill. It was to receive to bill. Now if you see updated to bill now. Now if you see the impact here, I will just go and quickly show you the impact on my stock. Right? If you see, we received 5 quantity of this lovely PlayStation. We would be able to see the value and also the serialized inventory that we've got. So this is the impact we got, input, and in the stock at this particular warehouse got increased. This is your stock ledger impact automatically without doing much reconciliation. It automatically also would create 5 serial numbers. As you see, I clicked on the serial number list and batch summary, and these are the serial numbers that we got for an example from Sony. Right, so this is automatically linked, and we also, there is an accounting impact. Once you have once you do all this transaction without passing a JV, you get the impact of your accounting as well. So if you see stock in hand got debited, your stock received but not billed is also impacted just by the click of one transaction. I did not go ahead and did multiple transactions. Just one transaction, purchase the receipt, and impact on my ledger, stock ledger, general ledger, and I've added 5 new serialized inventory in my warehouse. Right? Now to complete the entire purchase cycle, it has to be invoiced. You'll get an invoice from your vendor. So you can make an invoice entry from here. Let me click on the invoice entry. As it is, you just tally and go ahead and submit the invoice. You can even add some number of, the supplier would have some other name or number of the invoices. You can enter that in the system, the default field. Example, I can add Sony 903 for an example, and the invoice date was example today. So this is a default feature. I can use that and finally go ahead and submit. But maybe I need to do a lot of preview. For example, before submitting an entry, I just need to preview that what could be the impact. So I have a feature called preview. I can preview the accounting ledger. For example, I'm just going ahead and previewing the ledger. This is the impact, projected impact, of course, and only after you submit this impact will be there. Just to make sure you're not making any mistake. This is a preview that we recently added. So the account teams can go ahead and see the impact, and if this is fine, they can finally go ahead and submit the document. Now it's unpaid, right? Within the system, you can do bulk payments to Sony, multiple invoices paid once as also there, or just clear the payments for this one. So I can just do a payment entry, right? And just click on save and submit. It's paid. Now if you go back, let me do a quick reload. The invoice is paid. That means the purchase side of things is completed. And as a delivery where we need to deliver to the customer, we would have sufficient stock there. So that's also available now. If we go back to the order, we would be able to fulfill the order. Right? Let me go back to the order. Right? We'll just completely run this cycle and then I'll cover up more questions. So let me go ahead and first I can do multiple ways. I can just create a delivery note from the system. Now, if you see this green dot, or I'm happy. I mean, I have enough stock to be delivered that was promised to the customer, right? The green dot indicates. Earlier it was shows a red dot where we were just punching in the order, and you can have multiple ways that you can be able to fetch the order for. So just let me do a delivery note here. Let me submit this. Yes, delivered. Customers happy that that they got the delivery of the product at the right time, and you would be able to also see the impact automatically, the quantity, right? And invoicing, other details like shipment, or maybe you are there is truck delivering to the customer after getting orders. All those things can be possible as well. In case there is some installation note, like your AC need to be installed, something. So all those things are directly possible here from the system. So I think we just covered one of the basic cycle, that how the sales and purchase are linked to each other. I will just take a pause now, and I would like to be open for any question that
Yeah,
you have.
Faraz, there are a couple of questions in the chat box. Question by Meena is, can you tell us more about the accounting tab in the item form? And also, can you also tell us the accounting journal impact on each step in the cycle? And I think he raised his hand also, so maybe Meena, you can ask your query.
Go ahead, Meena.
No, I think he covered my question well, so I'll just wait for his input. I think it'd be better for our time.
Sorry, I was not able to understand. Can you come up with a question?
Yeah, I just wanted to know the accounting configuration when it comes to my sales cycle or purchase cycle, because some clients would want when I'm selling to certain customers, that would link to certain income accounts, and vice versa. Some clients would want certain items when it's sold, that these items would be linked to certain income accounts. So how can I relate my income accounts to the sales cycle? And also, like the whole cycle that we just did in terms of purchasing, receiving the inventory and selling the inventory items, how it would affect my journal entries.
All right. So currently in ERPNext, what we do is we have a common party ledger accounting system. So if I just show you the chart of accounts here, right? In chart of accounts, we maintain a single party accounting system, as I said. So if I just go here, your accounts receivable, it's a debtor account. For your customers, a different account if you want to do it. So we have a different party account. If you want to maintain a different ledger, it could be an ledger for different two customers. That is also possible. But we highly recommend that for filtration, and as I said, how the accounting impact would be at each and every level. So if you've noticed, once we were doing basic purchase cycle, right? Purchase example, we did a purchase order, right? Once we did a purchase order, let me show you that. So once we did this purchase order, it did had some accounting impact, based on we did receive, or based on your billing. So multiple impacts. So based on the connections, I would be able to see that time of receiving, receipt. We were able to see the automatic accounting impact by default without going. I mean, I did not do any voucher entry separately. This is part of the journey where automatically the accounting ledger would impact. So this is my general ledger after the purchase entry, right? And coming to the part where you would be able to see multiple party reports. So let's say, how do we do it in case we want to go ahead and see a report, let's say accounts payable or receivable. Okay, let's do accounts payable. So in report accounts payable, as you see this, here in my accounts payable report, I can filter my party directly. So if I go ahead and see that these are my party type supplier and the party name, Samsung, Sony, for an example, right? I would be able to quickly review this party type, right? For example, it is a supplier. Now I can select that party. For example, I want to just see specifics of Sony. I would be able to filter it from here, and I'm able to see this just related my payable related to the vendor Sony, supplier Sony, right? So you will be able to see this here. So we follow this party type accounting, and you can also see accounts payable summary directly for that particular vendor. So if you see this, automatically it gives you a consolidated summary, payable summary by 30, 60, 90. So again, you can select the type, the party. Let's say just you want to see for Sony. I would be able to see that, right? There you go.
Is there a way where can I get a supplier balance statement that shows me like the debit, credit, balance, and if there's a memo on each transaction?
Sorry, can you, maybe what you can do is you can put the question in the chat. Maybe at the end of the Q&A, I'll be able to take it. I'll complete one more cycle where I would like to.
Yeah, I think Faraz, there are a couple of questions in the chat box. Maybe we can take a few because it is related to what is already covered. There is a question by Harrison, how easy is to include approvals for some of these changes?
Okay, so approval, we have a default workflow builder. So sorry, there's a question for the approvals, right? Different types of approvals.
Yes,
That
yes.
So in this instance, I did not set up the approvals, but ERPNext has a default workflow builder or workflow feature where you can set up multiple, for example, approval for purchase orders, right? So I can select that. I can just select purchase order, document type. The system would select
Maybe
purchase.
Faraz, you can show the workflow builder. Just click
Yeah,
on
so
workflow builder. Yeah, workflow builder at the top.
directly I can show the workflow builder. I'm just trying to show how the document type can be selected.
Okay.
The workflow builder is the newest one. Of course, via workflow builder, we'll be able to do it. So select document type, it's easy here. Directly purchase order, right? I can just see purchase approval. And I would be able to create multiple workflows. I mean, I know we'll have to create from scratch, but you would be able to create multiple states that how do you want to approve based on your value, based on whom to approve. The value is more than that. So all these things you would be able to easily add that. So I'll just skip this. I mean, I won't be able to, because interest of time, I won't be able to design the new
I
workflow.
think Harrison, there's another session that we have taken for automation of workflows. So I think I'll share that session with you. It's already live on YouTube. So that will be really helpful for you to understand the approval system. Because approvals cannot be done in one, like the session itself, because it's a complete session altogether. So it's a complete flow which we cover. Next question is by Arif. Can we customize support module according to our needs? Like I want that all details of specific project save under same project. And if customer face any issue related to the project, it save under that project itself. So please guide us about that.
So I think it's possible you can have multiple ways to do that, configure that in the system. We have a lot of we use client scripts, we use server scripts. So these things are possible. I would highly recommend that the next phase would be how do we implement. We have a lot of requirements and how do we implement, how which whom to take help from. So I'll guide you maybe in the following session. Just give us 10 minutes. I'll able to come up with that option. How do you implement this? But I think the answer would be related to projects module. We need some configurations here and there for that.
Yeah, also in a short answer to Arif, so basically we can customize support module or project module. So whichever modules which you are seeing on the left-hand sidebar, it's all customizable. If it is a core module or a core doc type, we can do it from the customized form. So Faraz, can you just go to customize form from the search bar?
So now let me introduce you to this customized firmware, the low code, no code framework that we are talking about, in the start, if you remember. So this is a customer master. Now, in terms of this particular case, there could be two types of customers, individual, right? And it could be your B2B companies. Now, if you've noticed, the customer master, the customer type is individual, and I'm able to see the birthday because I want to send some customized greetings to the customer, right? And now if I go ahead and I select company, this birthday is completely gone, right? So how do you do this? So we can easily do this via custom form. So if you see this menu three dot option, we have an option for customize. So I can click on customize. Via the UI, you would be able to basically add more fields, make certain fields as mandatory in your use case. Or let's say, as I said, if a customer type is an individual, I need an additional information to be captured. Or if it's not an individual, it doesn't matter. How do we do it? So if you see this customer type, I've clicked here. More information is here that I want to keep it as mandatory. I just enable this checkbox, right? And if I just scroll down, I have written a small script here for birthday. For example, if in case your custom field you want to add as birthday, is that in case the customer type that this field is equal to individual, then it should appear, depends on. And if it's not, it won't appear. So this is how you would be able to, using the low code, add multiple, you play around with the customizations, and from the UI, add a field. Let's say I want to add an anniversary field. It's very simple. You can just click on this option, add field, right? It could be data type as date. I can select that and add anniversary, right? It's that simple. And I'll just click on update and just go back to the list. Let me do a quick reload so that it should refresh. And at the moment when I'm adding a new customer, let me edit in the full page. Here you go. We have an anniversary field just added within a few clicks, right? And individual, we get the birth date as well. So every module can be highly configured. Customized, configure the way you want. This is one way. Now, let me also cover a small aspect where we also, saw problems. Say there are a lot of internal requests for purchase, and there are so many vendors that you would like to handle. So very quickly, I want to show that I have created a request for purchase for t-shirts, right? Example, t-shirts. So what I've done is from the system, if I show you this thing, let's say t-shirt, when means your team wants to market something or there's an event coming up. So I've just added a sample product called t-shirt. Let me search that one second, or just let me remove the filters. Yeah, now it should come. Yeah, marketing t-shirts for an example for this particular VJ sales. And I want to get some quotations from my vendor, right? Some request. Basically, I'm requesting quotation from a multiple vendor for RFQ process. So request for quotation process. So in interest of time, I've quickly updated this particular document which says I want to request for a price for this particular supplier printo 100 quantity, right? And I do not want to go ahead and do manual work. I want them to go ahead and quote in the system. So now this vendor portal will come in. So what we can do, once we've submitted this document, the vendor would have a option to log in and just give us the quotation. So as you see this is the vendor portal. Vendor name is, if you see my account, the vendor is Printo. I've requested Printo. So under these tab, they would be able to see options, for example, request for quotation, this one that we created today. And as it mentions, you need a quotation for 100, right? So I can quickly quote for 100. For example, per t-shirt rate could be, let's say 500, right? And then I can just click on make quotation. So this is a portal side, vendor portal side, right? Now this is submitted. It would be in the draft state. Now if I go back to my main screen, right, my main portal, you would be able to see this. Let me do a quick refresh. Here it is, a supply quotation that from the portal Printo has given me. It is in the draft state. So you can manage multiple portals, 3, 4 vendors and get the quotations automatically without the manual work. So this is how you go, and you got this rate from them, and you can check certain things, and you can submit this and create a PO from this request for quotation or a supplier quotation. Then a normal cycle. I won't, because of time, I won't be able to create the entire cycle. So this is how we cover the sales and purchase. I would like to conclude for sales and purchase, and already we are short of time. So let me quickly give you a quick overview of manufacturing. That as a manufacturer, you could use ERPNext, and it's already integrated with all the other modules. So how easy it is to, we'll try to manufacture a TV, which is Vice, brand under Vijay Sales. So we can start with how you firstly design. So there's a bomb creator. You would be able to easily design your bomb. So it's a bomb creator. You can add your raw materials. For an example, this is my bomb creator. I can add my raw materials, right, from the system. For example, to manufacture a TV, you need a motherboard, right? So I can add a motherboard, one quantity. I would need also speakers, example, right? But two quantities. In every TV, there are two speakers. I can add two speaker and some more stuff like, frame, example, and then there is final box that goes in, example. So this is how you would be able to design a bomb, and you will see this automatically based on the purchase pricing. The rates are also getting fetched. Here you would be able to also manage your subcontracting, or you can also call as job work, in case you want to have, there are sub assemblies you want to go out, and you do the sub, I mean, outside the market, you can also do that and get in the raw, send out the raw materials, maybe for making a stand or color job work. It could be anything. So both things are possible. Let me show you a bomb which is already created, and you can also see the multiple other things. Let me show you some more stuff. After this creation of bomb, a bomb would get created. So this is a final bomb would look like, containing all your raw materials, right? Now also introducing you to operations. So let's say I have basic operations. One is assembly, and then after assembly there is packaging, right? So your entire costing can be derived here. You can use this tool to even derive your approximate cost per unit, or per TV, as in case. So this is how you can easily create a bomb. The bomb is ready. Now you want to plan your raw materials, right? So let me click on manufacturing. I can do a planning to manufacture. So I can go ahead and create a production plan. We saw the bomb creator. We created a bomb very easily using the new bomb creator. And now let's go into the bomb actuals of your planning of your raw material. So I can create a plan. I can just remove the filters. These are some completed orders. But let me show you how you can create a plan. Let's say you want to add, and you can fetch multiple items. If you manufacture, you have big orders, you can fetch it from sales order. You can also fetch it from raw material. But let me do it just manually for investment. For example, this one, and you see automatically system fetches your bomb plan quantity. Let's say we do 100. Okay. And then if I just scroll down, what I want to do is I want to plan for my purchase of your raw materials, example, raw material purchase. So let me click here. In case I forgot something, the system would automatically prompt that, you need to select the warehouse. We are humans, we can do some mistakes here and there. So I can just select the warehouse that I would like to do the purchase from, right? Get raw materials for purchase. I've clicked here. There you go. At the bottom, you see the plan to the purchase quantity, the type of the request is purchase, and these are the quantities that you would like to tell to the purchase team to purchase, because before you go ahead and do a manufacturing, before you start the manufacturing. So I just click on save and submit, right? And the system would automatically see that it's not started. I can go ahead and start it. Before starting, I can directly create material requests so that you get the right materials, be ready, and then finally do it. So let's do that. Create a material request. It automatically creates a material request here for purchase, right? If you remember, we are purchasing something. Let me go back, and if you see this, the status got changed to material requested. And then I would go ahead and create an order. So here is the work order. It gets the details from your BOM. It has fetched your operations. Yes, it has fetched your operations as well, assembly and packaging at individual stations. And this is how the total operating cost would look like. So it is coming everything from my workstation master. So just giving an overview of the master. As you see this, I have defined my workstation assembly. At the moment, it is off. There is no job card that it is processing, but you can see all the configurations here, the operating cost, that how I'm deriving the operating cost from, what are the job cards that are planned or running on this particular this thing. I can also start a job card from here, but I won't do it from here. I'll just go back, right? This was just an introduction. So we are on the draft stage of the work order. If I go ahead and review and submit this, the quantity is 100. I can submit this, right? And yeah, system would prompt the source warehouse. So I can directly add the source warehouse from here. It will automatically go and update at every raw material level. Let me click on save. Yes, it did update. Done. We've submitted the work order. Now let's start. So once I start, it would automatically redirect me to go ahead and do a stock entry to transfer your materials from a warehouse, store warehouse, for example, where you have your raw materials, to a workstation, which is assembly or work in progress warehouse. But at the moment, we do not have enough stock. So what I'll do is, in interest of time, I'll go back to an work order, which is already completed one, which you would be able to see a glimpse of. So example, let me filter out. Let's say this one. All right, let me show you a completed work order. Let me remove the filter. For example, this one. All right. So yeah, something like this, once you go ahead and you would be able to see multiple job, when you start your work order, you'll be able to see multiple job cards here individually from the work order menu. I mean, this one, which is recently, submitted, this one, right? Completed one. Sorry, the status is completed. Now I got the hold of the right one. And you see, this is the status is completed. How it got completed? Because the operations were also completed. You had gone ahead and completed the entry. The number one entry was a transfer entry. Here you go, transferring your raw materials from warehouse to your final warehouse. And then in the end, the final entry where your actual TV was ready. So I'm not able to complete the entire cycle of manufacturing, but just a quick glimpse and overview that this is possible, and there will be a couple of entries that would be required to do this. And then finally, you will be able to see something like this, that all your operations are completed and you have produced 10 items, and all the serial numbers that is associated with that entry would automatically be created in the system. So to conclude, I would like to show you this final entry, manufacturing entry, right? This one, after this, it impacts your ledger, right? This, the consumption of your raw materials, and gives you a final product here with new 10 serial numbers that we already would see something here, right? And then also in this, you would be able to see which are already delivered, some are still lying in stock, right? And to conclude, to see the profitability as as a store, which of my products are, which brand is doing well. So I'll just navigate through the module accounting, and then I have bunch of financial reports here available. I would directly jump into the gross profit report. I do not want it for invoice. I just want to see per brand. As a company, you can see via invoice, per product, per group, or for me, it's brand. I selected brand, and here we go. I'm able to see that which brand is doing. I mean, how the brands are doing. So I think here Samsung, yeah, okay, Apple is doing well, but the most profitable is Sony for me, for an example. Of course, due to data and here and there, but yeah, this is how you can leverage multiple default reports in the system. And for folks in India, we have GST already integrated. So we have India Compliance app, and I would like to just give you a very quick introductory overview that how the invoice would look like. The once we have created uh, invoice, and we can generate automatically IRN on submission, or we get a button to generate IRN, but I've already fetched the IRN. So you see the IRN getting fetched. You can, and the system would say that EV bill is pending something, but you see this. You can select a print format as e-invoice, right? So you see this QR code and your IRN as part of India compliance automatically here. You can design your own print format, but this is a very quick by default print format that is there out of box. So I'll take a pause here. I think we've already exceeded time, but I'm happy to jump into the questions now.
Yeah, I think Faraz, we have a couple of questions in the chat box. Uh, the next question is, can a single site or a single company have multiple branch accounts with different GST registration numbers?
Yes, absolutely. So we can have multiple company, but within one company, if you're wondering, can have multiple branches and addresses, yes, that is possible. So we have you can add an address, and in a particular, as you see over here, I have multiple addresses. But let's say you want to have multiple addresses for a single company, you can do it. For example, at the moment for GST, I'm having only head office address, and I'm able to add the GST. You can have one more address and link it to the same company. So answer is yes.
Okay, so next question is, what we have is how I can see on one screen my availability items on stock, the price, the last offered price to the customer, and other informations from the past.
So answer is there could be one report that can give you all your available quantity. It could be stock balance report, or maybe you can have it from your and you can also have multiple. I mean, you can have a report where you can easily go ahead and merge multiple reports via query builder. We have a report query builder, but this is a stock balance, default stock balance report that you can see everything. And the best way, what I usually do is I use a default report, that my total stock value, my total warehouses, and I can directly jump into the detailed dashboard view of my stock. So this is also highly configurable, but we have multiple reports to help you with your, understanding of your stock. I hope this answers the question.
Yeah, I think. Next question, what we have is, by Imtiaz, batch number and go down can be put while making purchase entry or purchase receipt. Is That's a
Yes.
question. Yeah.
Yeah, that's by default. So while you are doing a purchase receipt, if you have enabled that that inventory is a batch wise inventory, you would be able to enter that information while you do a GRN or purchase receipt. So if we go in edit, if you see this over here, it's use serialize and batch field, you would be able to add your batch number. It's taking up, it's a bundle, but you would be able to add a batch number if you just enable, but that feature is standard, it's available. You can also generate by default batch numbers. If the batch number is coming from the OEM, you just enter it.
Yes. Next question, what we have is by Steve. When an order is posted, is the order saved automatically in the posted orders or does it disappear?
What are you doing?
So, order posting, I believe you can punch in the order the way we, started. That how do you punch in the order? Via there can be multiple ways that that can sync it via APIs from your website as well. So once you punch in the order, this is your order list. You will be able to see all the orders here. So I didn't understand if my order would disappear. Can you elaborate the question once again?
Yeah, can you just unmute and ask the follow-up question? I'm not sure if he's still there in the session. Okay. I think maybe we can take the next question by Meena, like how to set financial year.
So while while you start the company setup, initially in the UI only you would be able to get that in the UI that what is your starting of the financial year, you will be able to see that in the company setup. That is a very beginning, at the very beginning, that setup is there, and your financial year is also available here. I can just search for that and you will be able to set up that.
And availability.
So in the company list, you will be able to see all your information. For example, here.
How have you done it?
But I think via the UI, initially you'll be getting that option to set.
Okay, the next question what we have is, could you please explain about the subcontracting?
So subcontracting is available. We have enhanced it a bit in ERPNext in version 15, where you can directly create a subcontracted order just for a particular product. You first need to make sure that in this inventory setting, sorry, in the manufacturing setting, you should enable supply raw material for the purchase. Once this is enabled, you would be able, from the purchase cycle, you would be able to do a subcontracted order as well. So the feature is possible. Maybe I won't be able to run the entire cycle because of the configurations.
Yeah, actually, Ranganathan, I've shared the subcontracting flow in our ERPNext manual. So we would request you to go through it. In case you have any questions, you can reach out to us. I will share the email ID as well over here so that you can reach out to us for any queries if you
Okay,
have.
ma'am, sure.
In
Yeah.
case so there's a
I'm
way
just
to
sharing the
subcontract
email ID over here.
You have a
Okay,
doc
ma'am.
file and then
The next
it allows
question
you
which
to
we
create a
have
context
for us, can you
Mm.
show us some of the top manufacturing reports?
So by default manufacturing reports, we have plenty reports that you can use. The basic ones that is available is of course your work order summary, that you would like to see that which your open orders or what is your status of work order. We have work order summary, we have then individual job card summary, in case downtime analysis, quality inspection, and in case any specific report you're looking at, just let me know. So these are default reports which you would get once you install ERPNext on Frappe Cloud. You'll be able to get that.
Okay, but you didn't work on
I think for reports as well, there is an excellent product that we have, Frappe Insights. So, like obviously there are some reports which are already available in ERPNext, but if you want to run like multiple queries and all of that, and you want to make data-driven decisions, then we have something called Frappe Insights, which completely manages reporting. So in case it is not like the reports are not sufficing your needs, you can advance it through Frappe Insights, which can help you in data-driven decisions.
So yeah, this is a quick introduction for Insights. right? You can go on frappe.io, explore our products. Insights is one of the way that you can design the reports the way you want. So a quick introduction that how you can connect a data source via multiple visualization or queries. You can design your own reports, right? So, but yeah, I think most of the reports, basic reports that you are looking at would be available in the manufacturing module itself. Also, to conclude, we can take some more questions, but I would like to quickly conclude. How do you, I mean, if you have plans of implementing ERPNext, how do you implement? Number one, before implementing, where do you host? The biggest question, how do you host? Where do you host? So I highly recommend you can use Frappe Cloud to host ERPNext because it covers your infra as well. I mean, you don't have to worry about your installation. It deploys within few clicks. And it also covers the ERPNext as an application. So it's a 360-degree coverage from Frappe. You get support from Frappe. We have, your version upgrades also comes from Frappe. So, via UI, as you see over here, you have a very quick overview that you can upgrade your new version. If there is some problem, you can, reach us and report those issues. And lastly, the best part is it's just you're paying for the cloud that you use. You don't pay per user at all. So you can use you can install multiple applications. We have a lot of applications apart from Frappe apps that you want to use. For example, we have a chat application that our partner has built. So many products to explore within this cloud. And the biggest benefit, as you see, you can within few clicks deploy or install ERPNext, choose the plan, and then the site would be ready. So upgrades, you click on the way you upgrade your mobile version, right? Mobile, Android, or iOS. Similarly, you can discover your updates and the system would automatically do it for you. Data would be as it is. So no manual work. You could easily use ERPNext on Frappe Cloud and have multiple sites created. So these are some of the plans that we recommend our customers to start with. So for an example, we have multiple options. We have shared, we have dedicated and hybrid. So a shared plan, that means you can have your own private database instance, right? This starts from 810 rupees in India, 20 rupees in India, additional GST. A good starting to exploring the product. And if you have, some more heavy users, then I will highly recommend you can go with a dedicated option. The dedicated hosting will give you the dedicated resources, and you can have multiple private benches inside a dedicated server. It's a server that you create, and these are the pricing options that we select. So you can start your journey from Frappe Cloud so that everything is much more as a better experience for you. Okay, cool. I can see almost most of the questions are answered by Ankita and other colleagues. If there are any other question, before we conclude, please let me know.
I think everyone who have questions on the pricing and all of that, maybe you can reach out to us over this email which I've shared in the chat box. Because of the limitation of time, we are not being able to answer to you in detail. So maybe let's like whosoever is interested to explore the pricing of the product in detail, you can reach out to us in this email ID. It will directly connect to the revenue team, revenue and sales team, and we can help you assist with further demo and evaluating ERPNext. Moreover, we would request you to actually provide us your feedback as well, because it will help us to improve our further sessions as well. So I'm sharing the feedback form also in the chat box. So it would be really advisable, like if you can share, because this will help us to improve our sessions as well as include other sessions as well. Like in the chat also, I saw that RF actually told us that we should do a session on customizing forms as well in ERPNext. So we will take it up in the next month. So there are many such feedback you can give us. It will really help us to improve. So looking forward to that. We apologize that we are not being able to take like extensive questions which are already there in the chat box, but due to the limitation of time, but you can reach out to us over the email. Once again, thank you everyone for joining in the session today. Thank you being patient as well, because I understand that we have already exceeded the time. So thank you for being patient with us. And thank you Faraz for putting a wonderful presentation over and giving us a complete overview of ERPNext. So I think it was kind of helpful, and I hope the audience kind of have a bird's eye view of the product now. So thank you everyone for joining in. This session is also recorded. So after 30 minutes after the session gets over, you can just log into the meeting link which you joined the session with, and the recording will be visible to you. And later the day, it will be also uploaded on our YouTube channel. So thank you everyone. Thank you for joining. Have a good day. Bye.
On your terminal, can you show